I just can't believe Syracuse isn't in the tournament this year.
Yeah.
They haven't lost a game in 50 years.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, surely they would have a team.
You would think. All right, you ready?
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you're here? Right here, we need you to hear. Criminy.
It's time for NTV Sports Central with your hosts, Trey Redfield and Darren Windberg.
Welcome in to another episode of NTV Sports Central. Trey Redfield. I'm Darren Windberg, and we are going to talk a little baseball because we got a little jerseys on.
Got the jerseys on.
Syracuse Orangemen, baseball, huh?
Yeah, Syracuse baseball, great team, hasn't lost in 15 years. Like I made a mention of it just a few seconds ago, but, you know, I got to celebrate by eating the jelly beans. That's why I'm, processing my words. But, hey, Syracuse baseball is a wagon. It's just unfortunate you don't know because we don't even have a baseball team at all. So, oh well. I say we because that's my school.
That's true. All right, but before...
You got Steven Strasburg.
I know, but before we talk a little baseball...
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Celtics, yes. Mm-hmm.
Big night for him. He's probably still recovering.
Slightly.
He reeks of adult beverages and sweat, so...
Yeah, I do.
Some stogies
last
for
night, yeah.
Red Auerbach.
Last night, it was so hot last night. So it was it was just...
But congrats.
Thank you.
I actually picked a gentleman's sweep before
You did.
I'm on record. So
You did. I think I said Celtics in 5-2, but I didn't even know what a gentleman's sweep was. That was the first time me actually hearing about a gentleman's sweep. What's from you?
That's what I'm here for.
That's what you're here for.
Dropping knowledge. Well, congratulations. Running the back. What are we doing?
I think so. They're already the favorite. I don't want to think about it too much right now.
Just want to bask in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. We always
it's
look for what's next. Yeah.
It's been way too long since they've won it all.
Sure.
So for now, let's just appreciate and celebrate something they haven't done for 16 years. But when the time comes, I hope the challenge is a little bit tougher.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope this one is even more rewarding because there are so many people out there that are trying to downgrade this championship run. Any championship run's a great run because only one person did it.
I agree.
Only one team did it. So
I'm going to take one step further.
Okay.
Let's go back last year to Denver. They beat in the championship. They beat Miami Heat, who was on
fire.
But they were gassed.
An 8 seed. That's it. Yeah.
A play-in game. Then in the Western Conference Finals, the Lakers, who were old as dirt.
Yep.
And washed up. Then
they them.
Yeah. Then who did they beat? Minnesota?
I think it was Minnesota.
Who was a year away from actually
making something happen.
Regardless, you're not taking anything away from their championship, but people are saying, "Oh, Boston didn't play anyone. Boston didn't play anyone." Well, you can only play who's in your schedule.
Right.
And two, last year Denver stunk. They didn't play anyone.
They didn't really play anyone either. So I don't really care what people say. Like Joel Embiid was saying, yeah, they had an easy run because everyone was injured, including me. Homie,
you're always injured, bro.
1, you're always injured. 2, pumped that you're playing for the U.S., but man, that's if you're even fully recovered by then. And 3, if the Celtics were to even get the Sixers in the playoffs with you, they'd be even 5.
Yeah,
they would gentlemen sweep them.
Yeah,
they would gentlemen sweep them, just like what they did back in 2018.
And you can also assume Dame and Giannis. Giannis will be back healthy next year. The East path is going to be a lot harder. My Knicks will actually, JB, maybe he gets a running mate to actually play with them.
That'd be nice.
And they'll be there. So it'll be interesting. Either way, congrats. I'm
Thanks,
happy
dude.
for you.
Appreciate it.
Boston, but I'm happy for you.
5 years was a little too long, but, we're blessed.
I just saw today on Twitter, JB, he's got 1 more year to get 4 more championships. So he was interviewed by Malika Andrews 5 years ago, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And he said, how many championships before you turn 28?
No, isn't he 28 right now?
Well, he's got 1 year. So
he's got 1 year before that.
He said 5. So he's got 1 more year to get.
That just puts into perspective how hard it is to win a championship. This is my last point on this because I do want to talk baseball.
No, yeah.
But like you want to talk about winning a championship? LeBron James, I believe, was 29 or 28 when he won his first NBA title. Like, it is hard to win an NBA championship.
Michael Jordan, 6 for 6. He didn't win until he had a running mate in Scottie Pippen in the 90s. He was drafted in 84. So, what was it, 90?
91, they won their first one.
Yeah, so that's 7 years.
Yeah. Took 7 years and a couple of beatings from the Pistons to even make it happen. So, it didn't just take a running mate. It took weights and just sheer toughness. So, it's hard to win a championship, and the fact that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown did it at their age is very impressive. Hats off. More champions are going to be crowned here in about the next week or so with the College World Series in Omaha, man. It's been one heck of a World Series to start out. 4 SEC teams, 4 ACC teams, and the SEC has the upper leg right now.
Yes, they do.
Because Virginia and NC State have both been eliminated by this time we've pressed the record button on this, which is Tuesday afternoon.
Yes, and let's just do a little housekeeping.
Yeah,
Tuesday afternoon. So the evening game tonight, now this is recorded on Tuesday,
right,
is now being played, which is Florida and Kentucky.
Yep.
They are now being moved to 10 a.m. on Wednesday because of inclement weather going on in Omaha, which actually hurts whoever wins that game.
Correct.
Because you're essentially playing 2 games in one day.
Correct.
Which you're used to doing, but at this point, they try and spread it out.
It out. It's kind of like what they have for a regional, right? You know, you're the lone losers bracket team remaining on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Guess what you get to do? Hey, you won. You eliminated the second other team that's there, but you got to play the team that's been rolling the entire time. That's on full rest.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit different in Omaha.
And I want to talk about Florida because I think they have the most interesting player, Jack Caglione.
Oh, that guy's the man.
He is. He threw 1 inning.
Just 1 inning.
Which hurt because then they had to get their bullpen going. So it essentially gives their bullpen a rest for today, but they had the momentum of winning last night.
Right.
And if you look at like brackets and you look at standings like 1, 4, 5, there haven't been any upsets. All the higher team, the better record ranking has won every game.
True. Well, other than the NC State game yesterday, because NC State was a national seed.
Well, yeah, but it was like a 4 versus like an 8 thing or something.
Well, NC State's a 10. Florida's not even seeded. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, because Florida was in Nebraska's regional.
Florida. Oh, yeah, because Florida beat NC State.
Right.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Other than that, that's the only upset.
You're correct.
That's the only upset.
What I mean.
But like, Caglione. I mean, you talk about the pitching and the bullpen. Look, that bullpen can do whatever it wants. If guys like Caglione and Tyler Shelnut can keep mashing the ball the way they do, that bullpen can sit and have a beer for all I care. Florida finds a way to put up runs somehow in some way, and that's the reason why it's there.
Well, and that's why they're at where they're at. So it'll be you got the flip side, Tennessee.
Tennessee's the favorite.
They're not even.
Tennessee's a wagon.
You know, that first game was it 12-11?
Yeah.
A lot, they're just mashing with each other and
everything's coming together. Christian Moore is one of the best players in college baseball. Showed it in that first game. He hit for the cycle. First cycle since 1957. The bullpen's rolling right now. Kirby Connell, his outing against North Carolina on Sunday.
Electric.
Unreal. That guy came in with runners in scoring position with nobody out and allowed 0 runs. It may have been the defensive side of him too, because one of those outs that he first got was a pickoff move. He had that. It's either that or a mustache. Ones that we can't grow. I mean, my guy had like a Raleigh fingers type of like circle. Have you ever grown a mustache before?
0%.
Yeah, 0%
I do not
chance.
look like. I'm not gonna say what you look like with a mustache because the 9 people that watch us, one of them might have a mustache.
One of them's gonna be like, "Hey!"
But no mustache for me.
No mustache for me. More jelly beans for me though.
All right. No, it'll be good. I'm gonna go. I think
you're still going with Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm still going with Tennessee. I actually would like to see a Florida Tennessee. I think that would be electric.
That'd be amazing.
But we'll see how it goes.
Florida will be back because that was disgusting. Florida.
We gotta say those jelly beans are there's like good ones and bad. Like there's
Right.
vomit in there and
Yeah, so like Holleen
0%.
Holleen Williams, our evening anchor, she brought in jelly beans because like some of them have like a, you know how jelly
The
bellies,
gag gift.
right? They have the gag ones. So this has like a Harry Potter one
0%
in there. I tasted a couple where it's just like, that's odd. It's a good thing that they're mixed in with normal ones, because if they weren't, just there could be something very disgusting happening on this podcast right now. But I think Tennessee looks very solid. It's awaiting Florida State, North Carolina. Seminoles are tearing up
they are.
UNC at the moment. That's probably going to stay that way because it's a 7-run lead, but I'm just keeping it as generic as I possibly can because it's being recorded, right? It's just how we do. But Tennessee and Florida State, the fact that they could possibly play twice to figure out who gets out of bracket number 1, that's going to be electric.
No, it's honestly, why can't you be? Who cannot be romantic about baseball when you just
even
look at
the College World Series in general, man?
It's just a great opportunity. I love it, and
it's amazing. There's
yeah.
always something fascinating about every season, just somehow in some way, right? Like last year, the way LSU pushed its way into the championship.
Sure.
Everyone thought it was going to be Wake Forest in Florida. Like Wake Forest was a freaking wagon last year. I mean, that rotation was insane.
Yeah.
Josh Hartle, Cam Manassi, those guys can freaking ball. LSU, the way that it won and got to the championship, hell of a story right there. A couple years before that,
Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens.
and on the other side,
1 and 2,
Tommy White hitting the jack to get them to that point too. Yeah. I mean, Coastal Carolina is always one of my favorite stories. Mm-hmm. It's so funny with Coastal Carolina. The only reason why it made it there was some shaky call in the Raleigh Regional. Yep. The game got suspended into the next day in the most pivotal point of the game.
Correct.
All it took was just an extra 8 hours of sleep.
That's honestly why I'm glad they postponed the game till tomorrow. Because,
this one, right? Yeah.
Yes, because again, if you have weather, everything can interfere with baseball. And yes, it's not 27 outs. It doesn't matter. First 27 outs is the first one to win.
Right.
The problem is, if you got inclement weather and it's storming and you got your ace on the mound, which neither ace is pitching, I don't believe.
Yeah.
But if they are and they only go in a third of an inning because you got to stop and it's a 4-hour rain delay, well, he's not going to go start pitching again.
Start pitching, yeah.
So
it's crazy because I'm glad you mentioned the inclement weather because this isn't the first hurdle that the NCAA has had to jump with this tournament. Mm-hmm. I mean, the first day, weather got taken over. The first pitch of Florida and Texas A&M
on Saturday
was at 10 p.m. our time.
Yeah, Saturday.
Could you imagine people watching East Coast, my folks in North Carolina?
Midnight.
They were watching it at 11 o'clock, waiting for a home run robbery to happen at 3 a.m.
Well, that's right.
That's insane in itself. So everyone's rolling with the punches. There's always good stories. Our guy Bill Steck has been putting together great stories throughout this entire.
The Father's Day one was good.
Father's Day one was awesome. Eli Small, the one on the Kentucky guy, and how he talked about I remember Eli saying when I committed, everyone was questioning my decision and stuff, and now I look at them, it's look at me now.
Yeah.
Because Kentucky, even though it's making its first trip to Omaha in this tournament, Kentucky's really good and deserves everything about that 2 seed that's next to their name.
And when you come to Omaha one time, everyone's watching it. All these high school kids are wait, I never ever thought about Kentucky because you think of them as a basketball school.
Right.
And now it's
even when they play football, because Kentucky football is pretty solid too. They've been ranked. They've been ranked.
That's SEC bias right there. ACC.
I'm an ACC guy.
Yeah, but
you
got that Southern bias. Yeah, they're whatever.
Oh well.
Point is, you think of Kentucky, you think basketball.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So,
without a doubt.
But now with the way they're balling out and pitching and hitting and playing complete games, it's now they're going to be thinking, okay, I could maybe see myself going to Kentucky.
Right.
And it's great for the sport.
It's great for the sport.
Forget about regions. You want baseball to grow. I love baseball. You love baseball. But guys our age, I'm 10 years older than you, don't like baseball. People young. It's boring. It's boring.
They
it's
find
slow.
we find it boring.
Yeah.
I don't find it boring. because one, I've played it all my life, and two, I enjoy now covering it. That's my job, right? But the fact that people, say that it sucks and it's boring, you're missing out on one hell of an experience here in Nebraska. Eli, I remember him mentioning, it's like when he was a kid, he was all about like collecting baseballs and stuff that at the different conferences, because you never know like what baseballs the umpires have, because each team has to supply them. So, like he lived that experience. Now he's playing in the experience. There's a reason why they call this thing the greatest show on dirt.
Correct.
So
Steven Strasburg, San Diego State, late great Tony Gwynn was his coach.
No one is on the back of this jersey, and no one has been in 50 years. So, final predictions: Tennessee.
I'm gonna go Tennessee. Which again, it's not. No.
I think Florida State's gonna give Tennessee a run for its money. To round out the first bracket, but
here's the kick: does it go? Tennessee. Is it a sweep or does it go 3 games? Selfishly, I want 3 games.
Selfishly, I want 3 games as well, but I think this year it's going to be a sweep.
Yeah,
I think Tennessee gets Texas A&M in what's going to be 2 really good games. Tennessee has a little bit of a better bullpen than Texas A&M's. A&M's bullpen is nasty.
Yeah.
What Josh Stewart did yesterday,
his stock went up.
His stock went up even higher than what it already was. I love Stewie. I called his games in Falmouth a couple of years ago. That kid can pitch the lights out. Tennessee can do the same thing. AJ, voice crack, lovely. AJ Causey, another one of those guys, submariner. That guy can ball out as well.
I don't like submarines. Dude, they're too inconsistent.
Causey's the man, though.
Yeah.
Causey is freaking nails. He was a Falmouth guy, too. I loved watching him.
I know. It's just, you're literally scraping your knuckles. But again, you can pitch. Your arm's never going to get, you're never have arm. It's just, I feel like it's like a knuckleballer.
Yeah.
It's hard to,
It's hard to stay consistent with it. Not 100%. But yeah, I think it's going to be Tennessee and Texas A&M. 2 very close games, but 2 games that Tennessee will win. And there's only going to be 2.
I think so. I think it'll be.
What you got?
Kentucky.
Tennessee and Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
You think Kentucky's going to get Texas A&M?
I think they do, and I think in the first game Tennessee's going to win 6-1.
Yeah.
And then the second game is going to be like 8-6, but Kentucky's going to be winning.
Tennessee's going to get one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then. Ninth inning,
it's over. So it's 1 versus 2 seed.
Yeah, I think again.
I like it.
Yeah, why not?
I like it. So,
and in other news, major news, Dr. Pepper
Ah.
Past Pepsi. They are now
Oh, that's right. I forgot they did that.
They're now number 2.
That's what's up, dude.
And if I lived closer to a Costco or Sam's Club, it might be number 1.
That's what's the nearest one to us in Kearney?
Sam's Club.
Sam's Club.
And then Lincoln is Costco.
Oh, is there a Sam's Club here?
No, Grand Island.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
So
is Sam's Club like a Costco?
Yeah, it's just it's a Walmart version is Sam's Club, and then Kirkland is Costco.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
all right.
It's all good, but all right. Next week we're hopefully gonna have our guy Bill Steckis on.
Really?
Yeah, and put the finite touches on the College World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going on vacay.
I'm going on vacay. I'm going to Minnesota tomorrow. We're also going to check out Wisconsin. My whole 50 states thing. I'll be at 41. And then this weekend, I will be in Dallas.
Watching some football.
Yes. Yeah. So Rangers-Royals game on that Saturday.
And Scherzer might actually...
Scherzer might throw that game, which is crazy. And the Royals are really good this year. So, and then on Sunday, I'm going to Copa America with my best friends from high school. Our guy, Sam, one of our producers, Sam Hartzell, freaking machine. Love that guy.
Employee of the quarter.
Teammate of the quarter, by the way. He is going to be at that match as well. So I'll meet up with him and his boys too. So
yeah, that's kind of cool.
It's going to be a good time. USA, Bolivia. I'm hoping Greg Berhalter doesn't do something.
USA's going to mollywop him, I'm assuming.
I hope so. You never know with the USMNT.
My soccer knowledge is 0-0. Put it that way.
Nice. Oh, good. Oh, good. But yeah, hey, Bill next week. I'm pumped.
All right, sweet. Trey Redfield, Darren Wimber.
Peace.